really want that, right?
Show us. Just show us. Stop playing around.
Oh, will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me?
That's it.
There's no way out, okay?
Hey everyone, this is Peter Boykin. This is hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. And today we're going to be talking about the Kamala crash. We'll be right back.
I think it's time for us to go right.
Kamala says it's working, Bidenomics in the air, but the job report's a warning. Now there's panic everywhere. Only 114,000 when we needed so much more. Unemployment's climbing higher, knocking on recession's door. The market's falling, hear the cries. The Nasdaq's sinking, can't disguise. The magnificent seven's losing trillions, feeling blue and blue. Bitcoin's dropping and Japan is crashing too. It's a Kamala crash, the markets fall. Bidenomics ruining it all. Recession looming, can you see? It's hurting you, it's hurting me. Elon Musk enactment leading, Fed please lower the rates. But inflation's still a monster, it complicates our fates. Trump says I told you so, he shouted loud and clear. Biden sleeping, Kamala's clueless as the crisis draws near. The market's falling, hear the cries. The Nasdaq's sinking, can't disguise. The magnificent seven's losing trillions, feeling blue and blue. Bitcoin's dropping and Japan is crashing too. It's a Kamala crash, the markets fall. Bidenomics ruining it all. Recession looming, can you see? It's hurting you, it's hurting me. Goldman Sachs says it's healthy, just a little correction. But the people's pain is growing, feeling the rejection. Emergency cuts might come, but inflation's here to stay. The American dream is fading, slipping further away. It's a Kamala crash, the markets fall. Bidenomics ruining it all. Recession looming, can you see? It's hurting you, it's hurting me. The warning signs are flashing, it's a desperate call. Bidenomics crumbling, can we rise from this fall? The Kamala crash is breaking the nation's faith and trust. It's time to save our future, in the Constitution we must trust.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Feelings is in the context of all in which you live and coconut tree?
Hashtag Kamala crash. Say it with me. The market plunge raises questions about Kamala Harris's roles in economic policies. This article is also on GoRightNews.com. I'm Peter Boykin. I'm an American political commentator, a citizen journalist, an activist, and a constitutionalist for liberty. You can join us on GoRightNews.com and PeterBoykin.com. So the U.S. stock market experienced a significant downturn recently, coincided with Vice President Kamala Harris's relative absence from the public eye. Harris has been instrumental in shaping the economic policies of the current administration because, of course, we know Joe Biden has not been there, leading to the widespread speculation about her impact on the market's performance. And this is what happens when you have real DEI candidates who don't even have a single vote in a primary, who barely had a percentage when she was running for president originally. Somehow she's vice president. Somehow she's running the country in the background with God knows who else, because we know Biden hasn't been able to. We all know that. Market losses. All three major stock indexes recorded substantial losses. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 1,033 points. That's down minus 2.6%. The NASDAQ Composite down 576 points, minus 3.4%. The S&P 500 down 160 points, minus 3%. Former President Donald Trump commented on the situation on Truth Social, writing, "Trump cash versus Kamala crash." This statement highlights a growing narrative attributing economic difficulties to Harris's influence. She would say. The question of responsibility. While there is no singular cause for the current economic challenges, Harris's role in the administration's spending and regulatory policies is under scrutiny. It's just going to be worse if we get 4 more years of this crap. People really need to wake up. Don't let the wool be pulled over your eyes. The administration's substantial expenditures have been cited as a major factor contributing to inflation and market instability. Now, I'll stop right there because they're going to talk about, well, Donald Trump spent a lot of money while he was president. Well, yeah, but Donald Trump actually did stuff for America and worked on things that benefit American citizens. What have they done in the last 4 years, really? Significant spending measures include the American Rescue Plan, $1.9 trillion. Well, I don't feel rescued. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, $1.2 trillion. I don't see it. The Inflation Reduction Act, $430 billion. I still see inflation, so well's that working? And approximately $100 billion in aid to Ukraine. And I know, yeah, we're supposed to care about Ukraine. I've got ancestors from Ukraine not too many generations back. But this internal squabble between two Russian-type nations, really, we need to start taking care of ourselves. And we can help a little bit, but I think we'd help too much. The administration's approach to energy policy and business regulations has also faced criticism for stifling growth and increasing operational burdens on private enterprises. Harris's legislative influence. As vice president, Harris cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate for the Inflation Reduction Act, a bill criticized for allocating the significant portion of its funds to climate change and green energy projects, rather than directly addressing inflation. Just a disguise to spend money somewhere else. Sounds like a Democrat idea to me. Future economic policy. Harris's recent appointment of Gene Sperlings, former senior economic advisor to President Trump, to her election campaign suggests a continuation of the administration's current economic strategies. The move indicates Harris's commitment to policies that some argue have led to present economic challenges. Remember, Bidenomics is working. Public perception and reaction. Despite the market's downturn, Kamala Harris and her campaign have relatively been silent on the issue. Just probably don't know what. They're trying to figure it out, spin it, whatever way they can do. They focus instead on other topics in their social media activity, like dancing. Dance, 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 dancing machine. Watch Kamala Harris dance away your dreams. Okay, this perceived avoidance has led to questions about her leadership during economic crises. Now, we like to break this down. This is opinion-based content. The article includes opinions, particularly in the attribution of economic difficulties to Harris and the administration's policies. The phrase, quote, Biden-Harris regime and the characterization of their spending as unnecessary and piggish are subjective viewpoints, but they're wonderful ones. As the nation grapples with economic uncertainty, the role of leadership and policy decisions will remain a focal point of debate. The actions and responses of those in power will continue to be scrutinized as citizens seek stability and growth in a challenging and economic landscape. This is on GoRightNews.com. Remember, Bidenomics is working, right?
Bidenomics is working.
5 minutes later.
Breaking news right now. The Dow Jones is down about 1,010 points.
And Bidenomics is working.
Markets around the globe this morning are selling off. Overnight, Japan's Nikkei plunged 12%, its worst day since the 1987 Black Monday crash.
Bidenomics. It's working.
This is heavy. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down.
And Bidenomics is working.
A plummet is fueling fears of recession amid a global market meltdown.
The unemployment rate jumped to 4.3%. It just doesn't usually happen in a healthy economy. A rise like that is historically a sign that a recession is imminent.
Bidenomics is working.
It's working.
It's time for the hashtag GoRight Roundup. Folks, if we continue down this path, we have seen greatness when Donald Trump was able to fully work on this America. In the first 2 years, he had the full support before the primaries, and then they started messing with him. They started throwing court cases on him. They started trying to impeach him, 2-3 times. Never worked. They've tried to assassinate Donald Trump. They have done every single thing they can, but he has triumphed. He has brought a path for America, and he's done it in a moderate Constitutionalist for America viewpoint. That is why Donald Trump is needed back in the White House. We have had one of the worst terms in U.S. history that has set our country backwards, not forwards. And Kamala Harris has been in the foreground and background and whatever of this poor old man, very Sleepy Joe, who's corrupted. He's done a lot of bad things in his life, but being president just wasn't his forte. Just not his time. And there's a difference between sharpness. Donald Trump is old. Biden is old. Donald Trump can get things done. Donald Trump is sharp. And I think if Donald Trump wasn't sharp, he would not let himself run and continue to run. Biden, on the other hand, they pushed him. They waited till the 11th hour to say, well, we got him reelected into the primary, got the votes and everything. But now we've decided, suddenly, oh my God, it's an epiphany, This man can't run anything. He can't talk. He looks awful on the stage with Donald Trump. What are we going to do? Let's throw Kamala Harris into the mix. She has never had a vote, never been on a ballot. She dropped out the first time with like 4%, was never on the original ballot, and she wasn't on the ballot this time. She is now running for president without any American citizen actually voting for her. None. No qualifications. If you want to talk about a DEI candidate, and I have no problem with diversity, I have no problem with inclusion, and I have no problem with any of it when it comes to the melting pot of America. But I do have a problem when people get in positions that they have no business to be in. They have really no business being in. And yes, I know she's got some qualifications, but dancing your way and being a lawyer and locking up a lot of black people throughout her own career. Remember, she's supposed to be black now, even though she's always said she's Indian before. And they jumped on Donald Trump for pointing that out, as usual. She's not going to be able to do the job. We've already seen the test run. So, come this November, please have some sense and vote for the best candidate, and that's Donald Trump this time. Even if you don't like Donald Trump, even if you don't like his personality, he can do the job. And that's what matters for all American citizens. This is Peter Boykin. Remember, go right, do right, be right, then everything will be right. Go to GoRightNews.com, PeterBoykin.com, #GoRight. Peace, everybody. See you soon.
Kamala says it's working. Bidenomics in the air. But the job report's a warning. Now there's panic everywhere. Only 114,000. What we need is so much more. Unemployment's climbing higher, knocking on recession's door. The market's falling, hear the cries. The Nasdaq's sinking, can't disguise. The magnificent sevens losing trillions, feeling blue. Bitcoin's dropping and Japan is crashing too. It's a Kamala crash, the markets fall. Bidenomics ruining it all. Recession looming, can you see? It's hurting you, it's hurting me. Oh, Elon Musk can act the bleeding. Fed, please lower the rates. But inflation's still a monster. It complicates our face. Trump says, I told you so. He's shouting loud and clear. Biden's sleeping, Kamala's clueless as the crisis draws near. The market's falling, hear the cries. The Nasdaq's sinking, can't disguise. The magnificent sevens losing trillions, feeling blue. Bitcoin's dropping and Japan is crashing too. It's a Kamala crash, the markets fall. Bidenomics ruining it all. Recession looming, can you see? It's hurting you, it's hurting me. Oh, Goldman Sachs says it's healthy, just a little correction. But the people's pain is growing, feeling the rejection. Emergency cuts might come, but inflation's here to stay. The American dream is fading, slipping further away. whisper and call. Bidenomics crumbling, can we rise from this fall? The Kamala crash is breaking the nation's faith and trust. It's time to save our future in the Constitution we must trust.
That is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.